So to understand where the word SEO came from and how it impacts business these days, I'm going to just take a little trip back into history, back to 1991, or prior to 1991, I should say, um, where business was done in a completely different manner than it's done now. And everyone remembers the phone book, or maybe you don't remember the phone book because a lot of these guys on the internet right now may have never seen a phone book before. But those of us that are old enough remember that to get on the phone book, you wanted to be on the front page, and you could pay your way onto the front page, and pretty much you opened up and you were looking for a business or a business type, and we used to always see the AAAAA and the AAAAA because on phone books, that's how you showed up. You showed up alphabetically. Things changed in 1991, which was the first website that ever came out. And from 1991 to now, here's websites online right now. And don't get all freaked out because these websites don't necessarily mean that they are active. 97% of all websites fail. Businesses on websites, I should say. So you still have a lot of people that are left over from the late 90s that were buying every domain name up they could possibly think of and never doing anything with them. But that count that you're seeing right there on the screen is actually accurate. And these are how many website domains are being put up every second of every day. So again, I wouldn't stress because everyone has a little bit different, right? We're talking mostly here right now about aftermarket parts, and these websites up here could be landing pages or marketing pages or just anything. Someone says, hey, I'm going to get a domain, and there you go. So when the first website, of course, in 1991 came up, nobody really did much. As a matter of fact, Google, let's go take a look at Google. This was Google back in November of 1998, and this was when they first came onto the scene. Looks a whole lot different, right? Google has evolved just like everything else, and from Google in 1998 to Google in 1999, started to look a little more like what we're looking for. January 2000, started to change again. Google was in beta. And if you remember, you used to be able to type in, I'm looking for hot dogs, and something would say hot dogs, but then you'd get to the site and you'd be on slippers. So Google has spent the last couple decades trying to get the best search results for the user. So as a website owner, you are not Google's customer. That does not mean they don't want to help you. They really do. Contrary to popular belief of the conspiracy theorists that say Google only wants you to pay for ads, what they don't want you to do is try and figure out a way to cheat the system. So if you can step back into Google's eyes for a second and know that they are competing for this user's attention with Bing and with Yahoo. And if you think Google's too big to fail, you're wrong. It is just a matter of time, and so they really do want to bring up the best search results. So to do that, they have spent the last couple decades trying to figure out how they are going to figure who gets up on the front page of Google. There are only 10 organic spots on the front page of a Google result, and they're going to want the best possible results to show up there. Now, back in the late 90s, of course, probably a little bit easier. If you had a domain name that had the keyword in it, you're going to show up. But as more and more websites, as we took a look here, as more and more websites came up, more and more of these sites had the same words you had. So Google had to figure out filters. And so there's over 200 filters. I don't know of anybody who knows all of them. Some of them are well known, and we're going to go to a Google search and we're going to talk about those because that's going to be really important when you're picking your keywords out and we're talking about exactly what you're doing with a keyword. So of course, SEO means search engine optimization, means you're optimizing your content type so the search engines will drive traffic to you. Because with a website, um, if you have a well-structured website, and that's what I'm going to say first, none of this matters if you have a Wix, Weebly, or GoDaddy site where your URL structures, your site maps, your content is just junk, right? Not only will it not work, but you don't want it to work. People judge you based on what they feel when they come to your website. And an old saying is people will forget what you say and they'll forget what you do, but they won't forget how you made them feel. So if you have a Wix site or a Weebly site or something that you got for free, um, the free didn't just come on with the look of the site, it came on with the structure of the site. And so Google wants strong sites that are going to be there for a while. But the first three things that we're going to talk about in that over 200 filters are keywords. So on this particular search, I typed into the search bar Mustang wheels. And so be Google for a second and see. So first there's ads and images that you have to pay for up here. 90 or 83% of the population, as far as Forrester is concerned, don't click on ads. That does not mean that is not a good profit for you, because that leaves quite a bit of people that do click on ads, including your competitors who want to just click on your ads and run your budget down. But people want to trust what comes up on the first 10 that are organic. And organic means Google has crawled your website and they decided this was the best in order of those filters. But look at what Google has brought up, right? They're going to bring up on their front page things that have that search term in. So when we're looking at Mustang wheels was my search, Google said, look, here's Mustang wheels in the title, here's Mustang wheels in the URL, and they even bolded that for you. And then here's Mustang wheels actually twice, right? Mustang wheels twice in the meta description. So if you want to show up on the front page of Google, the first thing you're going to be talking about after your well-structured website is the keywords in the title, the URL, and your meta description. So going back, let's talk about, a lot of people don't understand what a keyword is. And so I've seen several sites. It's part of what I do. I look at a site and I view their page source and I see keywords that are just everything under the sun. And people used to do that a lot. I want to come up for tacos and ice cream and dog food. Well, Google says, you know what, we just can't do that. You're going to have an opportunity for every page on your website to come up under a search, but we rarely have someone who Googles, I want everything. And so people used to stuff their pages with those keywords, and Google said stop, and they didn't. And Google was getting bad information to the user, which is going to be you as well. You don't want to be looking up dog food and stumble onto something that says cat slippers, right? It makes you angry. So Google's not trying to keep you down. They just really want you to have decent content. So again, they are bringing up words that are trying to most match what that person's looking for. Now, there are a lot of different pages that are out there and a lot of different combinations of them. How would you possibly know what you're going to title your website page at? So that's where we come on to campaign management in AdWords. Excuse me. If you don't have a Google AdWords account, you need to get one. This is where they have put their keyword tool. It is free. Yes, they are going to make you start a campaign. You don't have to run a campaign, but if you're going to get into their keyword tool, they want you to have an account. So if you don't yet have an account on Google AdWords, again, you don't have to ever spend a dime. Go in, create your account, create your first campaign. You can see I had to create mine. I set it at $1 a day. I ran through what they wanted to. I even put my credit card number in. They won't let you get past this until the first campaign's done. Once you've set up your first mock campaign, or if you already have a Google account and you've done AdWords, no worries. Just go into it. But go back and pause the campaign so it never does run. But now that you have that up, this is your Google AdWords, and on the top bar here under Tools, they have a keyword planner. Now, if you're going to spend any time on your website at all, because of course time is money, make sure you're doing it where there's a possibility of return on investment. There's a lot that go on here, and your competitors are doing this all day long as well. So under the keyword tool, you're going to start out on this particular page. I'm not going to budget anything because I'm not going to do a keyword. I just kind of really want a good idea of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to tell it I want to search for new keywords using a phrase, website, or category. I never put in the landing page. I never put in the product category. I never put these in here because I really want a true results back. But so again, so we're going to, let's stick with Mustang wheels since we're talking about SEO for aftermarket parts. So you have Mustang wheels on your site and you want to figure out how to try and get traffic to those. Here's where you're going to start. Now under your targeting right here, I have targeted USA. You can change that if you're a local company and you don't want all of the United States or you want all the world, that's fine. Or you can target it to just your city and county. So you can do a lot of targeting on this. And I tell it to go back 12 months. So I put in my Mustang wheels and I left this blank and I left that blank and I got United States and English, and I'm going to get ideas. So when you click the ideas page, it takes you here. Alright, and it's going to default you to the ad group ideas. I don't want ad group ideas, I want keyword ideas. So I'm going to click on this next tab over and I'm going to see what it showed me for Mustang wheels. Alright, so it's telling me that on average 4,400 people a month on average, and it's up and down, you know, sometimes it's a seasonal thing, are searching for it. Alright, very interesting. So that's a kind of vague, but there's a lot searching for it. So this is where I'm going to find my words that I'm going to put on those pages to come up in a Google search. So what I do is I create an Excel sheet. So I take what I find here and I'm going to pull this over and show you. And I've created a CSV. So I'm going to paste in that, and I'm going to remind myself that 4,400 people a month are searching for that. I don't really care if it's high or low or medium, but if you want to write that down too, it's high competition. It means a lot of people are searching for that. My sheets, when I do SEO for clients, these CSVs get awful long, but I don't want to just take the first word I'm looking for. I want to see what else they're searching. How are they searching for this? Mustang replica wheels. I want to give them exactly what they're searching for. So I'm going to scroll through here and I'm going to see what else people are looking for. And I might pick a couple of them if they are really interesting. At the bottom of your page, by the way, it defaults to 30. You can move that to 100 if you want. But I'm not looking for everything. That's interesting that 1966 Mustang wheels is searched 210 times. But this is where you're going to find and spend most of your time looking at how they're finding your product. So Mustang wheel spacers, interesting. But if I had Mustang wheel spacers on my website, I certainly would want to, let's go over here and put that in my search bar. I certainly would want to make sure it says that. So after you have found the keywords that you're looking for, and it seems that the longer the keyword phrase is, right? A keyword is not just a word. You don't want to rank for shoes. You don't want to rank for brakes. Those, you have no idea if they're wanting to buy brakes or bumpers. What you want to rank for is someone that's really looking to purchase. Someone looking for front bumpers. What are they doing? Are they looking for a report they're going to ride? They just kicking tires? You want someone who knows what kind of vehicle they have. So maybe they're looking for Ford F-150 front bumpers, right? Or F-150 bumpers. That's someone who knows they have a Ford. They know they have an F-150 and they're looking for a front bumper. So you want to use that keyword planner a lot on that. But so I'm going to see if I'm going to put that up there because I want to see who my competition is. So if I had a part on my website, we see American Muscle came up for this first. I'm going to go see, all right. So if I know that the first person right now has these wheel spacers and studs, and they're $24 and $14, and I'm selling them for $59 on my site, I got a problem. Let's go over this again. Search results for organic traffic, just like pay-per-click. It's going to drive the traffic to you if you can rank. Doesn't mean you're going to sell the part. A lot of consumers these days shop shipping almost more than they shop. This would be a perfect example. If this particular item was heavy and it's $24, but shipping on it was, you know, also $25, they're going to look for a site that they can get it, even if it's at $30, for free shipping. So just because you got up to the front page absolutely doesn't mean you get to sell them the part. The more specific you can be about that part, right, again, that says what it is, the better traffic you'll get for it. If you just put front bumpers and you happen to have ranked for front bumpers, you're going to have an issue with people who want a Jeep front bumpers or Toyota front bumpers or Mustang front bumpers. It's going to bounce off your website. And if they do, and they bounce off your website, the search engines are always looking at the algorithm. So you may be on the front page and it's not for the right word, but they thought you did a great job on your content. But they got everyone going on and bouncing off. They'll move you off the front page again if they think they're not giving people what they want. So I want to talk about this real quick on this. So make sure that you are telling them more specifically and not trying to bring them to a page that's not showing the consumer what you're talking about. But you also need to check your competitors. A good way to check your competitors on this is a little tool called SpyFu, and if you've never used them, let's go take a look at this real quick. SpyFu. I'm going to go back here to American Muscle, and I'm going to spy on American Muscle for a second. And again, doesn't matter if you're doing all this work to bring them to the front page, to your site, to the front page, if you are not competitive when they get there. All right. So SpyFu is a free account. Of course, every one of these accounts out there want you to pay. But you can get a lot of information, and you don't want to spend all your day on here as well. But it looks like I can tell that they have 3,291 paid AdWords and estimated clicks, and I can see what their average budget is. They've been doing it for 8 years, 6 months. They have 18,300 organic keywords, and I can see a little bit more here. I can just go down and take a look who their top organic competitors are, who their paid competitors are, what their overlapping keywords are. So if you don't know what even to start with, this may be an interesting place to start because they're going after these words, right? Here's their paid keywords, and they're going after them for a reason. So you might want to look up and decide if you have sound rental. I don't know why they're doing that. That's a weird one. But and these are the ones that are coming to them organically. So although they rank for this, so they rank number 1 here and number 10. Just a good way if you don't know what you're looking for. Go peek on your competitors and see. You're also going to find out that your competitors, especially if they're spending this kind of money on their keywords for pay-per-click campaigns, which is not what we're doing here. We're looking for what are you bringing traffic in at. They will change them seasonally. You're going to see a lot more different keywords they're paying for during the winter, where it's going to be snow tires and chains and batteries and parts like that. Where in the summer you're going to see Jeep tops and you know. So pay attention to that as well. If we're getting into the winter time and you live back on the East Coast, do you really want to start optimizing for soft tops? I don't think so. I don't think people are well, I mean, I guess soft tops may work if they need to replace their top, but think about what you're doing with your vehicles right now and this time of the year. Is someone going to be putting a suspension kit in their garage on their vehicle in 30-degree weather or 30 below degree weather? I don't know. But anyway, so first things first is get on AdWords. The next video we're going to do is talk about what to do once you've created your Excel sheet with all your keywords on them, how to actually utilize them. Again, remember that the longer the keyword, the oops, that was one I was doing for someone else. So the longer the keyword, the better actually, because you stand a better chance of matching that longer where other ones don't. But we'll go again on that when we get to the next video. So this is the first of the 200 filters. Please, 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 if you want to get on the front page of Google, and there is a lot of money on the front page of Google, do not pay $49 or $79.95 to some company who is out there telling you they will rank you and they don't have to touch your website. They are the reason for all the spam that you have right now in your inbox, and you don't want that to be your situation. This doesn't have to cost you a dime, but it's going to cost you in your time. So you're going to pay. Either you're going to pay by pay-per-click, you're going to pay by marketing teams, or you're going to pay out of your pocket. You're going to pay something. So let that happen. All right. Thanks so much.